Folks, I'm in a really bad mood. I wasn't in a bad mood before I tried to start this, and it's been a bad day. Once again, I spent 20 minutes doing a review, and then the phone crashed. Again, just like last week. I'm also in a bad mood because I just found out that I've got jury duty. And it falls on my birthday. So my whole damn birthday is going to be spent in a courtroom. And not a county courtroom, a federal courtroom. Which means there's a very good chance that I may be doing jury duty for up to 3 weeks. Okay. There are a couple of things that we need to cover before we cover the TV show itself, doing the review. Because there was a lot that happened this week. Okay, first of all, I want to first start by covering Courtney Act again. I touched on this in my last review. After watching Untucked this week. It's allergies now. It's not the flu. Courtney Act, I want to ask you why you keep lying. Because on Untucked, she was talking about how she went on the Australian Idol tour after her season, which was the first season of Australian Idol. It happened so long ago that she probably doesn't think she's going to get fact-checked on this shit. And because it happened on Australia, and not in America, there's very few people that are going to question this. But I question it. If you are a semifinalist, which we all know you are a semifinalist, even though you keep telling all those girls on the show that you are a finalist. You were not a finalist. You were a semifinalist. You got cut in the wild card round. Okay? You were talking this week on Untucked that you went on the Australian Idol tour, and there were people with signs, and there were 14,000 people in these arenas that you were going to. I don't know if Australian Idol is different than American Idol. I guess it's possible. Not likely, but it is possible. American Idol does not invite the semifinalists on the tours. Now, in the past, there have been some, like William Hung, the one that was doing the stupid little dance thing. He got invited because of his notoriety on some American Idol tour dates. But for the most part, semifinalists do not go on the tours. If you got invited to go on the tour, then I'm sure every other semifinalist would have had to go on. There was like 5 rounds of those semifinals, so that would be a lot of people going on the tour. Courtney, provide proof that you are on the Australian Idol tour. Because I will research this and I will find this out. I'm sure there's promotional material, even though it was like back in 1976, but I'm sure there's some promotional materials around about the stupid tour. And I will find it. Now, let's talk about the she-mail. The offending episode. I don't even remember if I even reviewed the offending episode. I have to go back and check. But I remember when I was watching the actual episode on TV, I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be a problem. And sure enough, it was. Now, the funny thing was, I didn't hear anything about... Damn it. There are so many damn... This is why my phone crashed a while ago. Damn it. I'm getting too many emails that keep popping up on my damn screen. When I saw that episode, I knew it was going to be a problem. But it's funny because a couple weeks passed and I really didn't hear too much about it until the network actually took action. Now, I think the time slot change was probably a network punishment for the show. And then they axed the she-mail segment, which I asked Carmen Carrera on Twitter, and she didn't respond, of course. Didn't expect for her to. I asked why all these trans queens that were on the show, like Monica Beverly Hills, Carmen Carrera, Mystique was also posting about this on like Instagram. They were doing victory laps about this subject. While RuPaul was very quiet on the subject. But they were doing victory laps, as if they had been fighting this battle for years with this show. That they had been waving this flag and going to war with the show. If you had so much of a problem with the You've Got Shemale segment, you should have said something when you were on the show. Did you? Probably not. Because you stood there. They knew that they can't bite the hand that feeds them. Because if they did not have this show, they would still be doing local gigs in their home state, rather than touring the entire country and going on TV shows and being interviewed. Because now they're in a public spotlight, a national spotlight, and they're milking it for all it's worth. That's the reason why now suddenly they have a pulpit to talk from. It's the reason why when they were on the show they didn't want to bring it up, or they didn't seem to be offended, because they probably were not offended. Now Carmen tells us that she was young and she was stupid then. It was just a few years ago. You weren't that much younger. You may have been stupider, but you weren't that much younger. I just don't understand why you weren't offended then. And I don't like the fact that Logo axed the offending episode. Completely axed it. I mean, they edited out the little Shemale segment on this episode that aired. If you can edit this episode for a 4-second clip, I'm sure you can go back and you can edit the 4 minutes, that mini challenge, out of that one episode and continue to air the rest of the episode on TV. On the formats, on the apps, and the websites, and iTunes, and all that crap. You didn't have to axe the whole damn thing. It's overkill. We gotta remember this show is lighthearted. It has a positive message, and it is a trendsetter. I mean, this is the first show to actually show the LGBT community's true colors on a national television screen and present the world of drag as mainstream. They really helped the community. RuPaul's not transphobic, as far as I know. I honestly don't think that's true. And the show has a humor about it. It makes fun of a lot of things. It reclaims words that are offensive. And I don't know. I'm very conflicted. I can see the trans point. But I also think there is some overreaction here. RuPaul should go on television, make a public apology, PSA. Logo should start airing more trans-positive TV series. I just honestly don't think they should have cut the You've Got Shemale segment. I mean, it was on the show for years. Why is it suddenly now offensive? I found it timely that this particular episode would air at this particular time, when Chaz Bono is appearing on the show on the night that this transphobic mess hit the media. There was very little trans talk, to be honest. Georgia Holt seemed to steal the show, even though Bianca just completely forgot about her, didn't even ask her any questions. They completely forgot about her. Jocelyn had to ask her if she was happy she didn't have an abortion when she had Cher. And I mean, that alone should have landed Jocelyn in the bottom. Not to mention the fact that she didn't even dress like a damn animal for that runway. And the other person who I think should have been in the bottom too, you guys might be surprised about this, I think Darian Lake should have been in the bottom too. Because her interview was awful. It was flat. It was just absolutely awful. Now, Trinity didn't do that good of a job in her interview. But Lord, everything that Darian asked, the answer was no. Not really. Nope. When it came to the runway, when everyone was dressed as animals, well, almost everyone, Darian Lake comes out dressed like an elephant. Besides the obvious was her size, which I find that offensive. She wore huge, like elephant tusk earrings and a gray outfit. That's how you were supposed to get an elephant from that look. It was a safe choice and a boring choice. Adore Delano, she was in the bottom 2, but I don't think she should have been in the bottom 2. She should have been in the bottom 3, but not in the bottom 2. She kind of satisfied the requirement of an animal in that she kind of looked like a panther. But when she wore that stupid mask, it came off as if Hannibal Lecter had decided to cross-dress as Catwoman, and he accessorized his face mask with Swarovski crystal. It was a horrible look. So she should have been in the bottom 3, but I don't think bottom 2. And Courtney looked absolutely amazing when she came out with that giant bird. Those wings unfurled. It was amazing. And I mean, I think it should be clear right now that the days when Carmen Carrera was used as the upper echelon of fishiness, those days are gone. Carmen Carrera is not a fishiest. Courtney Act killed that. She looked fishy. It was a smart choice. It was creative. Absolutely amazing. The best runway look from any of the queens all season. And probably top 10 in the history of the show. That's how much I liked it. And I thought Trinity looked awesome too on the runway. She had the feathers and she looked... I don't know what kind of animal she was supposed to be. I would have to go back and watch the episode again. But she had lots of feathers and everything. They had to do the lip sync, and I mean, it was quite clear to me that Trinity wasn't really trying. Halfway through that lip sync, her lips weren't even moving. But Adora's were. Adora was really trying to kill it to win this lip sync, and Adora ended up winning, and Trinity went home, and Trinity went out with grace in style. But I know a lot of people pissed off about that. It may be a reality TV show, but it is very scripted. Everyone knows that the show is scripted. And next week's challenge is the makeover challenge. Now, in seasons past, this has been the episode that RuPaul has brought someone back. So I'm sure we will hear RuPaul say this upcoming week. The judges did not agree with my decision last week, and I do make mistakes from time to time. Therefore, please welcome back Trinity K. Bonet, and Trinity will walk back into that workroom. Now, does that mean she'll last a while? Probably not. Probably not, because usually the person that comes back leaves again after one episode. But, you know, it is what it is. I fully expect to see Trinity come back. I really do. So I'm not that upset about Trinity going, because I expect to see her back. Now, if it doesn't happen, then I'll have post-traumatic stress syndrome. And a couple episodes down the line, I might be a little bit upset. But, I mean, that's pretty much all of my notes. So, I'm calming down. My blood pressure's going down. And I think I'm going to go have dinner. Yeah. But anyway, at least I'm not getting this out to you on Sunday night now. I'm actually getting it to you out on probably Thursday. Because I still have to edit and everything. And Lord only knows if this even saves, because my phone has been acting up. But we shall see. But until next time, goodbye.